Today in this first part of the lesson, we're going to go over classroom expectations, the syllabus, and just classroom norms in general. So if you open up your expectations agreement assignment, you will see that both the syllabus for honors chemistry and the expectations of students come up. I do have those pulled up in separate tabs so that we can view them a little better. So first I'm going to go over the syllabus and key aspects of that we need to know. So again, here is my contact email. Make sure you reach out to me whenever you need, and also our Canvas website. Office hours, those are going to look a little different for online students. If you do need to meet with me via Zoom, if you're struggling with anything content-based, make sure you reach out and I can try to schedule a face-to-face type Zoom meeting with you or elaborate over email if you're stuck on things. So make sure you reach out in case you need that. I've kind of already gone over the course description of chemistry, but just the goal of this class in general, being an honors course, is to prepare you for success in the future if you take AP chemistry or a science-focused occupation. So helping you learn more about chemistry so that you can be successful in college if you're choosing that route, or successful in a science-based career. For this class, as with all science classes, tests, quizzes, and lab reports are going to be about 75% of your grade, while any activities, classwork, and homework are 25% of the grade. So it is important to make sure you do well on those tests because they are a large portion of your grade. And then 20% of that test grade is your final exam. Textbooks. We will be using a textbook in this class that I model our curriculum off of, but we won't ever do direct work out of the textbook, as far as I know, unless I change things up, which might happen, but that is not in the plans right now. You will have access to get one of those chemistry textbooks. If you're interested, you can come and pick one up from school, so you can have one handy if you ever want to do extra reading or extra practice problems if you are stuck on a subject, so just as a secondary resource to you to help you out if you do need it. Some of these policies do not relate to, so I'm just going to skip over them. Late work. All work is expected to be submitted on time. Generally, in chemistry, all of your work will be due the following class period by 8 a.m. Late work is very serious because in chemistry, everything is going to build upon the next thing, just like in a math class. So if you submit one assignment 3 days late, you're already behind on the other work because you didn't know how to do that. So punishment for late credit, if something is 1 day late, it is a 20% grade reduction. And if something is more than 1 day late, it is a 50% grade reduction. One thing that's different about my class that a lot of teachers don't have is you have until the unit test to turn in any assignments from that unit. That's a little confusing, so let me elaborate on that. Let's say you miss the third assignment of Unit 1. You have up until the Unit 1 exam to turn in that assignment. If we take the Unit 1 exam and we're 2 weeks into Unit 2, you can no longer turn in the third assignment because it doesn't matter anymore. We already took the test, it's already in the past, it doesn't matter, you get a 0 on that test, or on that assignment, sorry. If you have questions on that, make sure you reach out to me. Academic dishonesty is going to be huge, especially in this online learning environment. Make sure you're not cheating, you're not copying your classmates' answers. You will get no credit if I find out you are doing that. And believe me, it's a lot easier to notice than you think. So make sure you're doing your own work. Make sure you're not looking things up when you're taking tests. As far as assessments, we'll go into those more when we approach our first assessment, but make sure you're doing your own work and you're doing your own learning. Because you are an online learner, it is a very asynchronous class. You are going to be guiding a lot of your own work. So it's extra important to make sure you're putting the work in so that you can succeed. And yeah, in our gradebook, we're still using PowerSchool, so all of your grades will be available on PowerSchool. That is our syllabus. Our expectations, again, some of these don't apply because you are an online learner, so we're going to skip down to some of the classroom rules. Make sure you're still abiding by all of the student handbook rules that are there. Make sure you're treating me kindly and I will treat you in the same. Some of the grading policies I wanted to go over. You are responsible for completing your homework every night to the best of your ability. In chemistry class, you will have a decent amount of homework to do. Chemistry is a very math-based course. It is applying math to real-life situations. So you will have a lot of practice problems because practice problems are how we learn chemistry. So make sure you're staying on top of that. Again, we're not copying homework. all assignments are generally going to be due the following class period unless I otherwise specify, so make sure you're aware of that. And generally homework is going to be credit or no credit. So unless I see a lot of students not doing the homework, if you put an attempt in and try your best on the homework, you'll get full credit, no matter what. Yeah, it can all be wrong, but if you're trying your best, you will get credit. I'm not going to penalize you in the learning process. This year I am going to try a couple different things. We will be having some homework checks. So these will be kind of like a homework check quiz. So we will have a quiz when you come back the next day when their homework is due. That quiz could be a question from your homework that you need to complete. It might be a question like your homework that you need to complete. And sometimes you'll be able to get to use your homework on those little mini quizzes, and sometimes you won't. So it will reward you for doing your homework. It is your responsibility to check the week in preview for homework on other information and test dates. Homework will always be posted on the week in preview. Another thing, review sheets. When we do get to a test, you do need to do those review sheets. You will get points for doing your review sheets, and they are due the day before the test. This is very different than some classes. They are not due the day of the test, they are due the day before the test so that we can go over them and you have right answers so that you can study from your review. Another thing, lab write-ups. You will be doing some lab write-ups. I might be giving you information from a lab to do those write-ups yourselves. And when you do lab write-ups, they do need to be in complete sentences. They need to be thoughtful. They might need outside research, especially because you're not directly doing the lab yourself, being that you are online. Another thing, that warm-ups will also need to be in complete sentences, and I will go over that further. I'll skip through some of this. Make sure you're on Canvas, make sure you're reading the syllabus, like I said. Just because you are an online learner doesn't mean discipline goes out the window. You need to be respectful, you need to be a good WAMA student, you need to be a good citizen, and if we're having any issues with that, I will reach out to Mr. Fisher or Mr. Gross for further help with that. I'm going to skip down a little bit and come back up to this. Some online learner expectations for you guys. Make sure, being that you are online, you need to stay on top of your work. Make sure you're checking the announcements daily. I won't always have new announcements, but there might be some there, and I want you to make sure you're aware of them. Make sure you're checking your assignments on Canvas during your class period. Whether you're on an A day or a B day, you need to log into your online chemistry class and make sure you're checking what you need to do. Make sure you're reading the week in preview. Everything is posted there. Make sure you're looking at the calendar. You have no excuses to say, oh, I didn't know that was due, because it is posted in 3 separate spots. So I will not hear, oh, I was confused, I didn't know. If you are confused, email me. I will always be there to help. Being that you're online, I still want you to share your ideas. Reach out to me, share your ideas about different things, any cool chemistry things you find, send them to me. I want to know. And make sure you reach out to me as soon as possible if you're struggling. If you are ever confused, I'm a simple email away. Please use proper email etiquette when emailing me, but always email me for help. And then lastly, make sure you're submitting assignments on time and when they are completed to your full abilities. And then also, I will also often comment on your assignments that you turn in. I'll leave grades, I'll comment on them, I'll give you feedback, so make sure you look over that as well. Don't just forget about it once you turn it in, because I'll generally give you feedback on how to do better in the future. Some things you can expect from me. I will generally, hopefully this year, things might be a little crazy, but try to grade and return labs and tests within a week of them being turned in. That is something I did well last year, and I'm hoping to continue that this year. I will always have the week in preview up to date on Sunday night, so that'll be updated on Sundays hopefully for you with everything you need to do for the week. I will always push you to act like a scientist when you're doing your work. I'm going to provide you a very rigorous work environment, especially because this is honors chemistry. It is not going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park. You will have to work in this class, and I guarantee you that. And then lastly, I do recognize this is a class of community, diverse learners, with many different strengths and many different skills and backgrounds and talents. And that's helpful for our class to thrive. So know that the same does not, or equal does not always equal same. So you will be doing different things than your in-class counterparts, but know that your work is different because you have a different learning environment. So please be patient with me. Please don't get frustrated when you're doing much different work than the online kids, or sorry, the in-class students in honors chemistry. So now that we've gone through those things, we can head on back to Canvas. And if you scroll down a little bit on Canvas, there's a little syllabus and expectations agreement for honors chemistry. You can actually type directly in this document and submit your Google Doc or your Google form right in Canvas. So you're going to please type your full name, full first and last name, and then please click yes or no. If you're clicking yes, you're agreeing to the syllabus and expectations that I just talked about. If you click no, I'm going to reach out to you and ask why, because you have to click yes in order to take this class. So if you do have any discrepancies, anything that you notice on those expectations that you can't live up to, make sure you reach out to me so we can discuss those together. And then also, is there anything I should know to help you better succeed in honors chemistry? It could be as simple as you ask a lot of questions, or you like to go over things visually, or you like to learn like this, or you like to learn like this. Anything that would help me help you. I would also love if you could look over this with your parents, just so like they're also aware of what's going on in honors chemistry. So if you could do that, that would be great. When you're done with this little agreement, make sure you click submit so I can see that you are finished with that assignment. And yeah, that's what we're going to do for our syllabus and expectations. So again, if you have any questions about what's expected of you to do well and succeed in honors chemistry, make sure you reach out. Thank you.